Satnam. My name is Sophia. I am a Kundalini Yoga teacher, and here on this channel I share some of the meditations and pranayams and Kundalini Yoga kriyas with you all. So thank you for your support. Today's video is about a mantra called Mangala Charan. It's a mantra that we use in a lot of the Kundalini Yoga practices before we begin our class or session. It is a mantra that allows us to establish a container for this ancient and sacred practice. It is considered to be a protective mantra, and it surrounds us with a certain energy of containment, if you will. And a lot of times it could be even used in a workplace. If a group of people are coming together for a meeting, for example, and we want to kind of unite and harmonize our individual frequencies to a more collective, collaborative frequency, this mantra could be used if your peers are open to it. Likewise, in the yogic scene, when we have group meetings or sacred circles, we also use this mantra to create a safe container for our meetings, our gatherings, and our circles. So let me introduce you to this mantra. If you are not familiar with Adi mantra, there is a separate video and I will post the link below so you could check that out. The Adi mantra is what we initiate Kundalini Yoga practice with. We tune in with Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, and the Mangala Charan, the mantra that I'm explaining in this video, is often used as a follow-up to Adi mantra to create that safe space for our practice. And a lot of times it is optional, it's not required, but my experience has been that more and more teachers using this mantra to harmonize the energies in the classroom setting. So let's break this down. Mangala Charan has 4 different lines to it, and we have the words as Nameh and Guray. Guray is like guru, which means wisdom. Nameh is like namo, like namaste, means I bow or I give reverence to. So the first line of this mantra is Aad Guray Nameh. I bow to the primal wisdom. Jugaad Guray Nameh. I bow. Jugaad means wisdom through all the ages. I bow to the wisdom through all ages, which is infinitely into the past and infinitely into the future. Sat Guray Nameh translates roughly into I bow to the true wisdom, which Sat means truth. And last line is Guru Devvay Nameh. I bow to the great unseen wisdom. And so in totality, Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Sat Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. The last line is where a lot of folks struggle initially because it's a little bit speeding up and you kind of let your tongue and your lips get used to it as we repeat it. So let's try that again. Bring your hands into the heart center, and there are some phonetically challenging parts to it, as when we say Nameh, it's a sound not me, right? So it's Nameh. So let's try it for size. Inhale deeply. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Sat Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Sat Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Sat Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Inhale. And exhale. So, a couple of things about the rhythm, the tempo. There is a lot of times where it is your personal preference on how you choose for your individual practice to use this mantra. It could be stretched out and lengthened on one breath, which means 4 lines are repeated on one breath, and then there is a deep inhale in between each of the 3 repetitions. But I like personally to do it in a really steady rhythm. It's almost like a welcoming the charioteer, the arrival of something great and bigger than us. And so I will demonstrate, just for difference, how it could be done with using one long breath and with the deep pause in between as we inhale. So I bring my hands to the heart center, deep breath in. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. And exhale. So you've noticed the difference that there is a deep inhale in between each of the reciting of the mantra, and that's okay. Ultimately, you have to find what resonates with you and what is serves you at the moment. One of my mantra teachers presenting and educating us on this mantra was saying that it is important that there is a certain rhythm, and so when we chant it fast, there is not a meh at the end, and you could take the inhale at any time that you need to as you're reciting each line. So I will demonstrate this point by chanting the mantra again, and you will notice how throughout the mantra I could inhale and take little sips of breath to maintain the cadence of the mantra. So take a listen and a look. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. This version to me is a lot more joyful, a little bit more robust, but again, you could make this mantra yours by what serves you in the moment. I've also heard this mantra chanted a lot slower, each line on its own breath, and it extends the ability for the energies to harmonize and settle in. If you think of gathering different people in the one room, everybody's energy is like popcorn bouncing around and at different frequencies, and once they start chanting it together, it kind of settles in and creates this beautiful tapestry of unity, if you will. So let's try it again, and this time I'll try to do it slower, which is not usually how I do it, but let's experiment and see what comes of it. Inhale deeply. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Nameh, Siri Devvay Nameh. Aad Guray Nameh, Jugaad Guray Nameh, Aad Guray Siri Devvay Nameh. Yeah, a little slower, a little bit more meditative, and that could probably be a meditation practice in itself. This mantra is called protection mantra, used as protection, and oftentimes within the Kundalini community and our yogis, we chant this mantra before, when we get into the car, before the key enters the ignition to start the car, and it creates a sphere of protective field as we commute, depending on the distances you travel. So try it out and see how you feel the effects of this mantra. I often use it when I commute to farther distances than normal. I taught my children when they were learning how to drive to chant that mantra before they started driving, and so far it feels like it serves its purpose, and I could definitely feel and sense the effects of this mantra. But nothing will prove the effects of this mantra unless you try it for yourself. So again, I invite you to give Mangala Charan a chance to surround you with beautiful energy of safety, protection, and a sacred container. Sat Nam.